That's right. Damn, 83. Wow. Good evening. Good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Say hello down in the chat, please. $101. Oh my God. Cool. You guys are showing up tonight. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Let's mess around with this wrapper for a few minutes till we really decide to get started. But tonight's going to be kind of interesting. We got the Latakia and the St. James Perique. I said in the live, not in the live. Oh. Hello, Youssef. Like I said in the short, that St. James Perique and the Latakia had gotten to smoke a cigar over the Christmas holiday that had Latakia in it, and I'd already rolled a couple with. Hey, Aska, how are you? I'd already rolled a couple with the Perique in them and really liked it. This wrapper is very well ready to go. There we go. Cigars, Corin. You know, I'm taking the main stem out of the back of these so that I'll have two halves, one for each cigar. These are the outer piece that you see when you get a cigar. So that's what makes this piece. It's a short filler, but anyway. Jesse, if I'm actually just putting my heart into it, I can probably go 30 a day. And 30 is a push. I'm usually very tired afterwards. Good evening, Shark Waters. All right. So you guys want to see these crazy things? They're not really that crazy. They look like regular cigars. But we'll, where did I put that? Over here. Talk about this for a minute. Hello back, UK. Good evening. Good evening, London. Wow, man. All right, guys. Kind of walk through this a little bit first. This is the St. James Perique. Yeah, I have quite a few Robusto's around. All right, the St. James Perique. This type of Perique is only grown and processed in one place, and that would be St. James Parish, Louisiana. It's a very interesting process. I recommend you, if you're interested, go check it out. They use it a lot in pipe tobacco, but as you can see, it is very, very dark and has a very pungent smell to it. I have a couple of different batches from different folks, but this one's actually quite dark. The other one that I have was quite a bit drier too, but it is quite a bit lighter. Hey, Jason, how's it going? It's Cigars, Murdoch. We're just talking about the two new leaves we're playing with tonight. This is from a different batch. You can see the difference in the size of the leaves and the color. Massive difference. But this is like I said, this is the St. James. Well, we have one cigar in this press right here that has just this in it. And we have another one that has just this in it. This is Latakia. It's other pipe tobacco. It looks considerably different than the St. James. It's very dry and kind of flaky, and it's a very smoky smell to it. Very, very smoky. I smoked some of this just in my pipe earlier, and it's very different. I don't not like it. So there's one cigar that has this in it. Well, I did 4. Like I said in the short this morning, I did 4. One with none, just so I could taste the basic blend. And then one with just the Latakia. One with just the making cigars, Rodney. Anyway, yeah, one with the Latakia, one with the St. James Perique, and then one with both. So we're going to be wrapping those up tonight. And I figured, considering this was just such a wild thing, something we'd never done before, we'd use our favorite, very difficult wrapper, and that would be Connecticut broadleaf. This ought to be a wide range of flavors. It'll be smoky, it'll be sweet, it'll be tart, it'll be all the things. And I marked them like this. So just the St. James, the Perique, just the Latakia, and both, and then the control. I call it a control because what else would I? All right, slide this up here. Make sure we're good and centered. So you guys can see how big these broadleaf leaves are. They are absolutely humongous. Let me pull the first one out. These stretch back out and put back away. I love playing with this leaf because it's forgiving. It's so thick and oily and strong. But you still got to see how tiny it looks, right? Wait till I get done stretching it. It's amazing how big this leaf actually gets. And I won't be able to get it perfectly done because it's going to have a folded edge. I may get some of it out, but not all of it, not without tearing it. And that's even worse. KZ, how are you? Long Ashes from Tampa. Nice. Yeah, my girl and I went to Tampa a few months back. Had a really good time. We spent the weekend in Ybor. Went to all the cigar shops and did the stuff with the people and the places. It was a ton of fun. It truly was a ton of fun. I can't wait to go back. Roger, hello. Thank you so much for being here. All right. See how much bigger this leaf is? How big these veins are? This is where a broadleaf gets to be a challenge. Because obviously you don't want these big old fat veins running around your cigar. Really make it burn bitter and make it burn slow. So you try to find a 2-inch piece between here and here to get the least amount of the big veins you possibly can. And you'll see after we do this part, we take some of this piece and we make the top caps. Lecture to read the chat? Man, no kidding, right? A lecture, oh, that would be cool. Like in the old school factories in Cuba. Love it. I think I did, dude. Cut these back to Robusto size. I've rolled my fair share. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting this back. This is measured at 5 inches, which would be a Robusto. And you saw me push it back about a 1/2 inch. That way, once I'm done wrapping it, I can cut the tip off. It'll be exactly 5 inches. Oh, that's what we're trying to expand. But this is just a little aluminum kind of weighted wheel. And what I found is if the wrapper is good and hydrated, you can flatten out the veins quite a bit. It makes them look a whole lot better. You have to be careful and you can't put too much pressure because this leaf, as strong as it is, will still tear. Not to mention it gets out a lot of wrinkles too. All right, here we go. And we try to match. We want the veins to run along the parallel. We don't want them running that way or that way, and you'll be able to see them a whole lot worse. It's a cigar. We're rolling cigars. Christian. And with a stronger wrapper, I can give it a little tug. So it kind of tightens up it's the head, the foot, and the body of the cigar. Kyle, how's it going? Trying to find the best place to get my flag from. There we go. The purpose of the flag is to keep the wrapper from unrolling. Also gives your lips a nice place to sit. I use Burmacol. I prefer it. It doesn't leave any visible afterglow, so to speak, of the what I'm using. I've used vegetable gum. I've used gum arabic. I've used straight pectin. This has become my absolute favorite. It just works every time. It's super inexpensive. It's all natural. I have to do one time where I use honey, like they do in the Cuban fields. Bill, how are you? Sorry, I had some admin stuff I had to handle. As you can see, we try to keep it where it looks like a triple, so it's 1, 2. Trick to that, from what I've been taught, is it's 2.5 times around. And you try to find your last cap that's similar in color to the rest of the cigar. Give it a good stretch. Oh, sorry. Forgot about that. It is kind of noisy and irritating, isn't it? Yeah, show us some guns. No, I don't have any guns. Oh, thank you. All right, get us a good cap cut. Take this dude and hold him down for just a second. Pull the old off. It's a trick another roller taught me. You emulsify the cap so that you can't see, so the lines aren't really bad. You just kind of blend in. All right, there it is. First one in the books. Well, thank you. How many layers? There are 4 leaves inside, a binder, and the wrapper. But as far as the head goes, there's 3. So 1, 2, and then the third cap is the top one. All right, that's the one with just the tobacco. And I did use all Nicaraguan tobacco in a Dominican binder, if anybody's curious. I got the tobacco from various online sources. Just collected it over the last year of finding the stuff I wanted to play with. It's getting harder to come by. I wish I could. I don't sell. And we got to stretch out another one. No, Harry, I wish I could, man. Harry, and yeah, wish I could. There's a lot of government paperwork to go along with being able to sell cigars. or make them professionally and then sell them. And remember, we looked at the last vein, so we have to be careful how we cut this, or we'll lose the ability to make the angle enough where the ribs of the veins will go along the cigar. And that's just got to find the right spot, and it's right there. Almost jacked up. Oh, believe me, I've looked into it. I can give them away, but shipping them is a different creature. I'm going to go real light this time, because this one doesn't have big fat veins. When it comes to using this thicker wrapper, I tend to use the little roller on it for just a couple of swoops. All right, here is the one with St. James. Find our spot. Oh, wait. Sorry, I realize I get quiet right as I get started. Just want to make sure it's right. Let me get a good stretch on it. I've had wrapper that was so stretchy. When you stretched it out to cover the cigar, it actually caused the cigar to bend. It had that much tension. It was kind of cool to see. And then I'm like, oh no, I got to fix that. So I'm always careful when I'm using a really thick wrapper. And that one broke on me, but that's okay. Well, that is also a possibility. Just not something I'm interested in tempting the government with right now. Just want to do this and have a good time. Truly, Kyle, truly. And as you can see, I twisted that one a little bit too much and broke it all to hell. It's called Burmacol. It's essentially it's not essentially anything. It is a vegetable gum, flavorless, odorless, tasteless, totally organic. Doesn't do anything except create. It's essentially if you've ever made jelly before or Jello, the stuff that's in the powder, that's fruit pectin. It's essentially what this is. Just a big old jar of it. Except it doesn't taste like strawberries or whatever flavor you were using. Blindwood, it's how I did it. I just jumped on YouTube and started watching some videos. There's another gentleman that I learned from. His webpage is Bliss Cigar Co. I learned a lot from him watching his videos. He is a nice man, hell of a roller. So yeah, that's a good place to start. But if you want to get like some leaf, there are the couple of resources that are online for buying tobacco leaves. Most of the time they'll have like a starter kit. Yeah, if you just Google tobacco for sale, it'll show you exactly what you're looking for, or cigar tobacco for sale or something like that. Waterways. Yeah. Samar, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hey, if any of you wouldn't mind, I would greatly appreciate tapping that subscribe button. It really helps. We got to 500 finally. That was last week's goal. Took us many months to get there, but we got there. Oh, thank you so much. That was very kind. You're just slowly growing it. There's the second one. That's the one. Where'd it go? I lost it. Up there it is. It's the one with St. James. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you. Thanks. That's one of the things I looked at too. Is I wanted something representative of the old ways because that's how I wanted to learn. Before I ever got any of these cigar molds, I rolled like they do in Cuba in newspaper, and I did that for months and months and months. No, Ezekiel, I wish I could. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of government paperwork to go through to be able to manufacture and sell cigars. It's maybe someday, but not right now. You see, I've got this one, the face side up. You see how dark it is? It's actually a little bit overhydrated. They're tearing pretty easily. I have to be careful now. The strong, oh, this is one that was busted, that's why. But they're the same. Thank you so much, Lucid. As far as store-bought ones, it's just a difference in where the tobacco is grown and how it's grown and how it's. Most of the factories do a secondary fermentation, which can last, up to 2 years. This has just had one fermentation. I didn't grow it, but next year we will. It's something we just bought some acreage out in the country in Virginia, and we're going to grow some tobacco this summer. So I'll make sure I video that whole process, and it'll be cool. It'll take months to do. It'll be neat. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh, thank you so much, Garrett. Everybody starts here. It's not like it was 100 years ago when the government didn't have their fingers in everything. I'm not anti-government. Let's get that out there right now. I serve this country, and I love her very much. Oh yeah, dude, they are. Yeah, I've been hydrating these leaves for the last 24 hours. Just very slowly bringing them up. Actually, waited a little bit too long. That's okay. We can make it work. All right, here's the one with a lot of Kia in it. This is what it looks like without a wrapper. Still cylindrical, but you can see the ridges from where it sits in the mold. But you give those a little roll squeeze, and they go away. And what I'm doing here is I'm matching the cigar to the angle and seeing where it's, and hopefully it'll land somewhere in that area. But if I move it this way or this way, it'll change the position. Probably go right here. And we'll make sure that this outer edge does not get a fold in it. Fortunately, this big old knotty vein I can take out. He lives here reading out chat. Funny. Who are you guys talking about? Sorry, I was looking down. Cheers to Turner. How about you might mind hitting that subscribe button before you go? I'd appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. More the merrier. Damn. That one got away from me a little bit. Well, I would love to be able to give you one, The only way I can do that is sitting in front of me, hanging out. Making sure I had the right side up. I don't normally do flavored cigars. The tobacco, if you blend it correctly, has got a lot of different flavors. I mean, I've tasted chocolate, coffee, leather, cinnamon especially. I get cinnamon all the time. Fortunately, I love cinnamon, so we're in good shape there. But I think it depends on the person. A lot of people can get other flavors that I don't get, and I'm okay with that. I do tend to roll cigars that are naturally sweet. It's something that I enjoy. But no, I don't add anything. Kind of, to be honest, the leather thing is a reminder of when I was a child playing little league baseball. You get out in the outfield and you get kind of bored, so you end up like there's little tassels on the sides of your glove. You end up chewing on them because you're bored, and it tastes like that does. Cool. Yeah, check that one up a little bit. No, I have not. I've seen it done. It's not something I typically do. What I find is when you dip it in anything, the tobacco being hygroscopic, it picks up every little bit of moisture. You see, I got a 64% humidity in here. That's just to keep the tobacco workable. But when the tobacco gets wet, it does not want to burn. Obviously, it doesn't want to burn, and it can change the way way it tastes. So no, I don't typically dip them in anything. All right, there's the one with just the Latakia. I have, but I can't do that on this channel, and YouTube seriously frowns on it. Yes, it does. You're right. I hear you. Gotta grab another wrapper. Yes, personal cigars. Any tips? The best tip is this: buy a kit and start rolling. And the first few you roll are going to be horrible, or they might be awesome. It could go either way. With these, because this wrapper is so moist, I'll wait at least a week. Emmanuel. Break out the Chevette and do this the easy way. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh man, this wrapper's trashed. Wow, I think I can get this piece out of it that I want though. That's a big old hole. I don't know if I can work around that. We'll find out. There's a lot of classes. There's nothing in Virginia, not that I know of anyway. There's a lot of online classes, and if you actually want to do it, you'd have to go to Florida or actually in Ybor City, Florida. There's a couple of places that do lessons, and one of them is one of the big commercial factories, and the other one's a boutique factory that's there, run by a level 9 Cuban. She's absolutely amazing, super nice lady. We met her when we went down there and hung out and smoked her cigars and drank the best mojito I've ever drank in my life. And I don't drink very often, so it's not something I'm into anymore. Just came in. Right on. Welcome. If you hopefully you'll enjoy yourself. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do this every week. every single week. Yep. Well, I take that back. I skipped Christmas because I was with family and we were traveling. Not to mention we were moving. I agree. Cubana. And sometimes it does not want to surrender. So we have to make it. And this is the one with both Perique and Latakia. Anyone's curious, the cigars that I smoked were the Martin Tobacco and Trust, the Stillwell Star, and the CAO Stokes, I think it's called. They were interesting cigars. It was interesting enough to make me buy the tobacco. Where do I, oh shoot, I missed that one. Where do I get the leaves and the tobacco filler? There's a couple of online retailers that sell some leaf and some starter kits too, which is always helpful. And people that are just, I don't know if I want to do this. I just want to give it a try. The kit, I don't remember how much it is, but it's usually enough to roll 20 cigars. And by the time I was done with that 20, I was hooked. I was like, yep, I want to do this all the time. And I did. I bought some more, and my wife bought me some more. And a year passed, and we're almost 1,300 cigars in. I've rolled for a few events, which has been fun. Well, can't do that. That's frowned upon in my profession. Yeah. If you are smoking, oh shoot, that was too small. If you actually light something on fire or use the M word or the W word, depending on whether you're using slang or real words, they get kind of funky about that. And I get it. It is technically illegal. It's not illegal in the state I live in, or in a lot of other states throughout the union, but it is still illegal at the federal level. Tis my plan. Yeah, smoker friendly for sure. Hey, I like that. Yeah, I am definitely smoker friendly. I've seen it help too many people. Now, what I was taught was if you just wrap them on top of each other, as you twist the top piece, thank you very much. As you twist the top piece, the twisting of it will generate the gap. When you get the gap you want, you stop pulling up, and then you're good. And we get Mr. Leaf back, find a spot that's acceptable, doesn't have 14 holes in it. There we go. Yes, it's a vegetable. It's just easiest to say it's a pectin. It's a vegetable pectin or fruit pectin. I just like this one that doesn't leave a shiny residue or anything on the cigar heads after I'm done with them. And as you can see, I like to put quite a bit on top and really make that cap emulsify into the other cap below it. Let me give it a good pull. Drop it back to the 5-inch mark, cut it off. Give it a good squeeze to flatten it out. And there we are. That's all 4. Now we get to wait a week and see if they're any good. Now, if you might look, be different than yours, maybe. Horrible filler. Fentanyl. Wow. Pectin, exactly. Pectin. Oh, thanks, Michael. I appreciate you. All right. 512. Wow, there's 500 people online. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Tofu, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Just doing our best. All right, we'll move that to the side. All right, I'll leave it up to y'all. I have another set. I have another set that we can continue to wrap. Or would you? Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Michael. I appreciate that. So we have a choice. We can either continue to wrap, which you've already seen me do with these 4, which on these guys, they are a completely different size. These are 50 ring gauge. These are 42. So what I call it, these are the classic Corona size, where these are Robustos, classic Robusto size. Or we can either wrap these, or I can sit these to the side and we can create some more bunches. You guys haven't seen that yet, and we've been on quite a few minutes. What do you guys think? You want to create some new ones of these, or do you want to wrap these? Hi, Blondie. How are you, babe? Bunches. All right. Looks like Bunches has it. Sweet. Love it, love it, love it. We'll put these dudes back over here. All right. Let's move these out of the way. Put those up there. So I won't forget which ones are which. All right. Now I know which ones are which. Oh, thank you so much. Any favorite cigar I've made? Yeah, it's actually the ones that are in these molds. I call it the house blend, or the Casa de Gringo, or whatever the hell I want to call it. Whatever it's feeling that day. All right, so you guys want to see shiny new ones. I love it. Love it. So we'll go to the 50 just because it's going to be easier and I can roll more of them. And we'll, so let's get this out of the way first. That. Perfect. All right, this is African Cameroon. One of the rarest leaves you can get. And even we have a hard time getting them. And you can see these are not the greatest quality. But they are wonderfully tasty and we love them. The biggest I have is a 52. I don't tend to roll jive. That 50 is about the biggest one I roll on a regular. Get a cigar with a tight draw. Do you have any? Yes, they make a tool, or you use a toothpick or something of that nature. But they make a tool that you can screw down into it. So I can't remember what it's called, but it literally looks like a corkscrew almost, and you just easily shove it down through the middle and then pull it back, and you can break the blockage. Man, this leaf looks rough. That'll work. All right, do that to the side. All right, this is African Cameroon. Very rare, very delicious. Some of the leaves, yes. This one is Piloto Cubano, classic blend, also Dominican grown. I tend to use more Dominican than Nicaraguan, as I said earlier. And this is what I brought for the heat. This is Habano, but it's the Ligero, the strongest leaf on the plant. The strongest non-mythical leaf on the plant. We'll talk about that for a second. As you're looking at the tobacco plant as it's here, it's like this. You got the big, large leaves on the bottom, and then the second set and the third set. Well, the bottom set is called Seco or Velado, depending on where you are. The middle section is called Viso, and it's stronger, thicker, and has more flavor and more body. And the upper part, which is called Ligero, which is the plant that's part of the plant that's lived in the sun its whole life, takes on a much thicker feel to it. And it burns slow. And this is where you get the power from the cigar, where you get the heavy spice. All right, and binder. So you get the 3 filler components. And then we reach in the bag here and we get the binder. And these are whole leaves, but what we'll do is we'll take them half. These won't be very long, so we don't need to do doubles. But you can pinch the middle rib. And see, sometimes you can get lucky and get the whole rib out just like that. Perfect. Speeds up your process quite a bit. It depends on the varietal as to how tall they grow. Some of the Connecticut stuff that they've grown in Ecuador and everywhere else they've ever grown, Connecticut shade or CT style leaf, they can get up to 8 feet tall. The pelotas are 5 or 6 feet tall. The olors are about 5 or 6 feet. Cameroon is between 4 and 6. Some of the Esteli stuff can be 4 to 6 as well. Well, I wish they'd come back, and I hope they subscribed before they left. Just enjoy this piece of it. It's a camaraderie. It really is a community. Oh, well, thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. Get a few of these opened up. See, these are pretty small, and I know that I'm going to need both of these to do one cigar. And I got another baby one over here. I love it. Truly. Hey, Mark, what's up, brother? How you doing? From Turkey. Wow. Welcome, welcome. Does it grow in Connecticut? Yes. There's not nearly as much leaf grown in Connecticut as there once was. The tobacco buyouts from the government back in the day kind of really put the slowdown on the domestic growth of tobacco. They still grow it a lot. Actually, the Amish grow quite a bit in Pennsylvania. Quite a bit. Most of that is cigarette tobacco. All right. These dudes over here. Those dudes over there. Nice. Welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome. Thank you from Mars. How's the weather? Shoot. Now, with this Cameroon, it is very fragile. It's also not super hydrated. You can hear it. It's kind of crunchy. You hear it. And I move it. So we'll do 2 of these. And these are what they call straight strip, where they're just torn off. They're not, they don't have the mid-rib cut out of them. They call frog legging. They don't have that. So I have to do it. Try to take out as much of this stem as I possibly can and still leave the structure of the leaf intact. Maybe I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Nice. Welcome from Indonesia. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hate to keep being that guy, but like I said, we're trying to grow this thing, and we don't have a lot of followers, and YouTube tends to put us down on the list, which is fine. I get it. I get it. We're not rocking them serious money. All right, there we go. And I got a few ready. Got my binder. Definitely didn't plan that well enough. Yes, I agree. And I hope we get there soon. Soon, soon, soon. We can keep this path up. We'll be there in hopefully maybe a month. That'd be great. Love to break 1,000. That's when you can really start doing other stuff. You see, I did that off camera. Sorry, guys. All right. You get the leaf that's frog-legged, the big rib cut out of it, and you essentially roll it into a straw. Okay. You can grab your next leaf. This is not the greatest looking. It's kind of beat up. It's that bottom of the bag. This one did not have a big mid-rib, so I wasn't worried about taking it out. Give it a little twist and create another tube. We'll lay it up. And we're going to reach over and grab the Ligero. Here's the trick. You want the Ligero or the stronger, thicker, not even stronger, the thicker leaves. You see the difference in the thickness. They're way thicker and way meatier. You can feel it in your hands. Well, I used to stay frog legs from dust inside. No, I don't. I use a long leaf only. Oh, thank you. But you want the Ligero or the thickest, slowest burning leaf to be in the middle. And realizing that I need 2 more leaves as these are small. I'm trying to dig through this pile and find one. There we go. Put that one on top. Tear these tips off so I have a nice flat edge. And measure out my, and that was 5 inches, so we'll make it. This stuff is tough. So now we take and we feel the top, the head, and the foot to see if we have any thickness differences between the middle. And that's what all the pieces we just tore off solve. Any places a little thinner, a little thicker. No, unfortunately, I'm not. I really wish I could. Yes, that's true, David. You can see the color difference. And this is a Sumatran binder. We're not going to roll this real tight. Just tight enough to hold it together. That's the mold's job. The mold's job is to squeeze it and make it perfectly round. But if you bind it up too tight, then it won't. The press can't do its job. And you end up with a really tight draw. And that's no fun at all. Nobody likes a cigar with a tight draw. And what I'm feeling for here is you can feel where it goes from a solid, where it kind of drifts off in its thickness. You go right to the edge of that and you cut it off. And then your head will be solid. You'll be squishy when it gets hot. Emmanuel, I learned it watching YouTube, and my wife and I took a trip to Florida and went to Ybor City. And I got to hang out and learn from some folks that have been rolling cigars probably longer than I've been alive. And I'm in my 50s. All right, number 1. See, nice and cylindrical. Squeezes right down in there, pretty as you please. You saw me trim off the head, so it wasn't just a flat or rounded it off. That way, when it slides up in this head, I give it a little push against it, and I put the mold on top of it. It rounds the head off nice and pretty. Richard, I do. I remember your name. Yeah, hey, some people do. I think it depends on the cigar for me, but I tend to like a lighter draw. If it's tobacco that's not super oily, then yes, I most definitely want a lighter draw. I'm kind of breaking my own rule here, because these are different side or same sides of the same leaf. Nice. Got a couple that are already frog-legged. As you can see, these Cameroon leaves are very, very small. Okay. You roll this dude over. And regardless of what you see when you're at the factory, we as home rollers, for us to have access to that leaf is a rare and beautiful thing. And I'm doing the same thing with every leaf all the way through, just creating little tubes for straws. And if I see a big fat vein, pull it out. Okay, we got that. Go back and grab us another one of these. Hey, you want to chew the little leaves? Go for it, man. No, Bon White, I wish I could. It's just a not in the old cards, as we would say right now. Dog was making weird noises behind me. All right, there we go. Gigantic is how big the old lure size was. Gigantic. Did you see that the one of the tobacco companies had gotten some Viso? Yeah, I was like, oh, I know I'm ordering some of that. It's one of my favorite leaves to use, that gigantic Olor. Oh yeah, perfect. And as you continue to roll, you start to feel what the ring gauge you're rolling feels like. And so I tend to roll. I'll roll one ring gauge and roll it and roll it and roll it until I can remember what it feels like in my hands, and then I'll change. Is this something I've heard? How's it the wrapper affects the flavor so heavily compared to volume? Is it part that touches your lips? I would not disagree with that at all. I think that has a lot to do with it. Not to mention it is also the first leaf that we can smell. All right. Same thing as last time. We find the place where it dips off. Cut it. I think we'll leave it first this time instead of last. And you can see I rolled this one very, very loose. That's why it looks gigantic. Let's see how squishy it is. Tiny blonde. And then the dude rolls in nice and pretty, tucks up into the hole. We'll move on to the next one. Why is it leaf? Because these are what would be considered long leaf or long filler cigars. Long filler, you don't cut the leaf up at all. You tube it. It's how they roll most premium cigars. Actually, all true quote-unquote premium cigars are long filler cigars. Maybe short filler or Cuban sandwich are the ones that have chopped or short filler in them. You can do that too. It depends on where they came from. I have seen long filler cigars that burn absolutely horribly, and then others that burn like champions. I think it just depends. Big old knot there. All right. We're getting into the really funky part of this leaf. Oh, you're welcome, Robert. My pleasure. Kind of what I'm here for, man. Here to hang out, hopefully share some fun stuff, and nothing else, just have a good time hanging out with people. We go back for our Ligero. Yes, Maddox, yes I am. Yeah, I did see that interview where Arnold dipped the head of his cigar in tequila. Did see that. Ah, there's a couple. Great. Perfect. Now, because these center veins are so thin, I'm not pulling them out. If they're really thin, I won't pull them. That's a fat boy here. You don't need to nothing. Get a piece of Ligero back in the top. That to the side. Now this one required almost no fill-in at the head or the foot. It doesn't happen very often. And it looks like I'm going to have to stick another binder in here. Shoot, knocked it over. Darn it. I'm going to use these giant ones. There we go. Little one. This is where I have to use a double because I don't have enough binder left to get to the end of my bunch. So I'll back up a little bit. It's just time. Yes, it can be a serious mess after I'm done to clean up. Fortunately, this table's pretty smooth, so I can just kind of put all the good leaf away and then rake the short filler into a pile and put it in the giant bucket to my right. Oh, that's a long one here. All right. And this is where you have to remember that you used a double, because you have to glue both of them. It'll probably do very well there in Thailand. Let me do very well. You got good. I mean, depending on the soil, and well, you guys got plenty of rain, from what I understand. Having never been there, I don't know. This is that little edge I was talking about where it kind of forces it to round over into the mold. Beautiful. Ask away, abstract, ask away. That's a good point. I missed that. Technically, from the store, you're supposed to be able to smoke them right away. You shouldn't have to wait. Some people do. Some people wait a week, 2. I bought a sampler pack at Christmas, and because of who made it, I wanted it to wait a year, and it was already at like 6 months in. The glue is called Bermcol. It's a fruit pectin, or vegetable pectin. Sorry, it's a vegetable pectin. Pile of Cameroon is becoming short filler real fast. It looks like I've got a ton of leaf on the table, but I really don't. The new setup's going pretty good, love. Pretty good. It's different than my other set was. Very different. But I'm really liking it. In the daytime, it's nice. I can look up and look right out the window. I can see the whole backyard. And of course, once summer starts, I'll be able to see the tobacco growing, which will be even cooler. We'll take pictures of all that fun stuff and probably shoot a video. I intend to actually shoot a series when it comes to that kind of stuff from when we start the tobacco. Brand X, yeah, I remember that too. Good old X-Files. There we go. And my one to encase the Ligero. So I'm going to move the Ligero in. There we go. Tear off the tips. Okay, there we go. I don't need any fill on this one. When you get the long filler right in your hand, you can almost get away without filling in the head and the foot, but you just have to feel the cigar. The cigar will tell you what it wants. Well, let me rephrase that. The leaf will tell you what it wants. There we go. Find our drop-off edge, clip it, bring it back. I don't know. I don't know about the whole green and tobacco thing. I guess it's popular. I don't know. Outside of my wheelhouse. Beautiful. True. I would agree with you 100% there, U.S. John. It is a peaceful time, forces you to slow down. I'm not condoning this or recommending it, as essentially it is tobacco, and we all know that tobacco does things to the human body. You saw me do that little scrape there. I had a cluster of tobacco stuck to the table, stuck to the board. 3, yeah. I've got a bucket under my feet for the tobacco that I break off. It all goes in the compost pile. Nothing goes to waste. This is all beautiful, beautiful compostable material. Yeah, I hear you, Howard. I hear you. Yes, absolutely. It forces you to stop and just enjoy, be in the moment with whoever you are. That's one of the things I like about cigar lounges too, is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. When you sit down and across from someone and smoke a cigar, you're equal. You're on level playing ground. It's one of my favorite things about being a Freemason too, is once you step in that lodge, you're equal, absolutely equal. All right, and you saw I moved the Ligero to the middle because it is the slowest burning. Hopefully I can find one more. Come on. There we go. That is what I have heard as well. Tear the tips off. Get down to about where I want it to be. I'm actually happy with that. I'm going to put a little bit, not that piece. Yeah, there we go. The other thing is, as you're rolling these up, you have to pay attention to what you're feeling under your fingers. And if you come across a soft spot where it's not the same as it is all the rest of the way, the moment you feel it, you'll feel it with these 2 fingers, and you stop and you grab a little piece and you put it in. That's why I keep this scratch pile so close. Fortunately, this leaf has been very nice to me tonight, and I have not needed to do a lot of filling in. Find our drop-off point, cut it. From start to finish, depending on the time you put it in the press, if I keep it in the press the minimal amount of time, probably from broken leaves like this to finished cigars in an hour. That's including press time. It has to sit in the press for 20 minutes. Then you pull it out, rotate it 90 degrees, put it back in the press for another 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then you can pull them out and roll them. When you do that, they're going to be very, very moist. All right. There's our 5. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right now you can see these here are the rounded overs. So they'll ride right in here. And these pieces go down in here. And as you squeeze it, it forces it. I'll have to do this off because I got to squeeze it. See how it presses them down into the edges. And now, behind me over here is a paper press that kind of looks like an old school cigar press, but it's not. And we stick her in, and this press puts out 3,200 PSI, and I'll squeeze it for probably a half hour or so, maybe 45 minutes. Ugh. And then we can turn them and start over. All right. Awesome. I'm glad you find it interesting. Thank you so much. That's cool. Then you got to go through and find the good pieces, put them back in their respective bags. And now we're going to go back and wrap these other dudes. I can find the rest of these bags. Where'd they go? Here we go. Super strong stuff away. All right, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. I can't figure out which is good. As this pile of broken leaf starts to grow, and it does grow, no matter how well you keep this hydrated, it still breaks into little shards here and there. And you end up with, shake this off, you end up with a pile that looks like this. Now all of this, you can put in another binder, and that becomes a short filler cigar. But if you take a whole piece of leaf and lay it in, and it becomes what's called a Cuban sandwich. Slightly different. It's supposed to be the better version of the short filler. And I have a 18.5. Basically, I have a big cooler to my right that all the short filler goes in. Yes, only tobacco. Only tobacco. Yes, this is 3 different kinds. No, 4 if you count the wrapper, the binder. 5 if you count the wrapper. It's Ecuadorian, Dominican, Cameroon, or African, and Nicaraguan, Dominican, African, and this is Sumatran. And we're not going to use these right now. We can keep these nice and hydrated. We fold the tails in so that they're on the inside of the bundle. And then we stick them in a plastic bag. Come out to be, you talk about my cost? Well, you know. No, if I could get my hands on it, I absolutely would. I would love to try any Indonesian tobacco I can get my hands on. I am that guy. I want to explore whatever tobacco I get lucky enough to have come my way. All right. Now let's wrap these Coronas up. This is some other wrapper that I prepared earlier. This is Ecuadorian. It is a shade-grown wrapper, so it's nice and thin, but it's cured and fermented, so it turns dark-ish. I'm going to keep it in the bag so it stays nice and supple and moist. And you can see the difference between this leaf and the first leaf we used. This leaf is very thin and a little bit temperamental. But if you just take your time, it'll work out perfectly. And what I want is about a 2-inch strip. Now, some people will do like I just did and cut that top because you're kind of working with a rectangle here. And some people leave the piece on because they like more of an arc. I like it flat. I think it's easier. Happy New Year. How are you? Very stretchy, very stretchy. All right, here we go. Standard Coronas. I got to remeasure because this is at 5 inches. And we're going to go to 5 and 5/8. I do tend to use classic Cuban measurements. The 7.5 for a Lancero, 5 for a Robusto, 6 for a Toro, etc. Now these are still quite juicy. Quite juicy. You see I left about a 1/2 inch. That gives me enough room to take almost the whole leaf. Gives me a little room to be able to cut the tip off. This device is called a tuck cutter. Just kind of finishes the end of the cigar, well, the foot, the part you light. This is my favorite wrapper. I strangely enough consider it to be training wrapper for Connecticut shade, because that stuff is tissue paper thin and tears if you look at it wrong. This, you got a little bit of stretch. Oh, nice. The VSGs are nice. I smoked a couple of those. I tend to, I don't have really a brand that if I buy store brand stuff. Actually, I take that back there, but I order most of mine online. So cigars I can get in the store, almost everybody can get. There's a company in Florida that deals with aged and rare cigar. Well, definitely aged for sure and well aged. I love them. I order from them all the time. I've actually got an order coming from them now. I will. All I can tell you is that they're from Orlando. Not in many years. The Champagne Noir. Okay. That's the stuff you roll. Stuff you rub it in close up. They're talking about what I'm doing right now. This is the pectin or vegetable gum that allows me to make the leaves stick together. Can be tricky sometimes. You see, I left that big old vein in there and you can see it. Fortunately, it's pretty small. Perfect. A little bit of glue. Yes, you can, but you have to stick it in a drier environment. Like this room, as you can see, is well conditioned at between 67 and 69% humidity and at about 70 degrees. This room I've got conditioned as a humidor because there are cigars everywhere. Oh, if you light a cigar, you get to smoke it right then. You get maybe, if it goes out, you've got maybe 10 minutes or so, and it's going to taste rough. Yeah, no kidding. 120 a box then. Now it's what, 300 a box? All right. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm definitely enjoying entertaining. Oh, yes, every day. I am definitely a cigar smoker. No doubt about that. There's probably, between what I've bought and what I've rolled in this room, 500 cigars, give or take. And I roll every single day. I do not take a day off. And we've got the classic Cuban Corona. Triple capped. Not the greatest. Oh, man, look at that big tear. Wow, how'd that happen? Is it bad luck timing? Bad luck with timing? Nah, never. It just, sorry, if I missed one, please write it again. In St. Augustine, I bet. Got all the good stuff in Florida. No, I wish I could. I just roll for entertainment and for some small events. It is frowned upon by the ATF without a massive license. True. I thank you. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It starts as just a humble leaf, and by the time it's done, it's something that brings pleasure to another person. I like to think about too is, and I've heard this in a couple of videos, other videos that I've watched, you know, for most finished cigars, the time it goes from the little tiny seed all the way to the finished cigar, roughly 300 people have touched it. I mean, how cool is that? $35 in Turkey, huh? Oh, nice, BC Born. Like I said, man, it's quite relaxing to do. quite relaxing. And I do it just to, you know, to bring, my friends know at this point, if John's coming, he's bringing cigars. I might not bring anything. Oh, I'll bring myself a cup of coffee. That one is right there. Can you explain what makes a good cigar? And why are they worth so much? What has been my favorite? My favorite cigar that I've smoked so far? Wow, that's tough. My favorite cigars out of mine that I roll have been these, but another version of it where the wrappers are Cameroon. But what makes a good cigar? That's a very tough question. I prefer long. If I'm looking at a nice cigar, it's going to be long filler. I like Dominican tobacco over Nicaraguan. I know it's strange, or Honduran, especially Honduran. A good cigar is very subjective to the person. Do any of your cigars? Cigars you're buying? Yes, that's actually how this blend was developed. It's developed after a company that I have a lot of respect for. It's one of the first cigars I ever smoked, stateside anyway. The first cigar I ever smoked was a Cuban in Colombia in the 90s. But the first cigar I smoked stateside was a Fuente, an 858 natural. And it was awesome. And that was also in the 90s. But I've smoked cigars all over the world. Well, not all over the world. In the 17 countries I've been to. Sorry, 18. Count Jamaica. You want this to be between 1/4 and 1/2 inch down from the top. You want that line to be nice and sharp. And you'll see it'll wrap back over itself. That creates the first round of the double cap. There we go. And when I take cigars go bad, and you're true, these can last, properly humidified, other than the fact that the oils will eventually leach off. You can go 15, 20 years easy. I mean, there are some tobaccos that are, 25 years old that are still absolutely amazing, but they have to be stored perfectly the whole time. For South American cigars over Cuban, having smoked a lot of both Cuban and, well, let's just say old world and new world cigars, I prefer the new world. And if I had a box of Cubans that I could put down for 5 years and put in the bottom of my humidor and forget about them, they'd probably be some of the best cigars you'd ever smoke in your life. Something about the ground, and well, it's called the terroir, like a winemaker, like a wine grape. The terroir in Cuba is unique, very unique to Cuba. Perfect. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do get harsh if you push them too hard or try to burn them too fast. It's going to get holy at the end. No, I think I can make this work. This is what I would call a low quality wrapper. See all the holes in it? I just want to stretch this out and show it to you. This is beyond what I'm willing to use. This one I'll put away and it'll become a binder. The binders can have a few holes in them. Not a ton, but a few. They get holier, they tear real easy. There we go. Romeo and Juliet's. I have off from the store. No, they are not. They are made by a General Cigar, I believe. I mean, it can roll on my best day. The best day I've ever had, I rolled just over 30 cigars, and I was absolutely exhausted at the end of it. I was doing one for a memorial for an Iraq War veteran. I was doing something for one of his friends, and I rolled just over 30 in a day. But it was all I did that day. I didn't do anything else. I mean, I'd stop and eat. I'd take a break, go smoke a cigar, maybe drink a cup of coffee, and then right back at it. Thank you for your service, young Mills. Appreciate you, brother. I did 2 tours in Desert Storm. And the rest of my time, I was in the Caribbean running drug interdiction. Welcome home to you, brother. Yeah, it was tough, dude. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. My pleasure. That's true. We all definitely have our vices. We all do. I don't drink as much as I used to. But I heard this story. A young kid was talking to an old timer, and the young guy was drinking a beer. And he asked the old timer, he said, "Would you like a beer, sir?" And he said, "Nah, I quit drinking." He said, "Why'd you quit drinking?" He said, "I wasn't thirsty anymore." That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just not thirsty. If I get thirsty, I'll drink one. But it is few and far between anymore. It takes way too long to recover if I overindulge or overserve myself. There we go. Made that one work. My pleasure, Debbie. Much else for young kids from small towns to do that didn't want to go to college. And my father served. My grandfather. My father was a Vietnam veteran. My dad is. My father was Vietnam. My stepfather was Vietnam as well. My grandfather was World War II. He was Pacific Theater. Served at Okinawa, Navy as well. My mom and my grandmother both worked for the federal government for 30 plus years. And I work for local government. So we're a family of servants.
My kids started sticking around a lot of high school twins. And then they started under the dictator.
Nice. I have not smoked one, but I have seen them, and I am curious. I am very, very curious. My towel fell. Have you smoked one yet, Merc? Beansy, honey, do you want to go out? It's called Bermcall. It's just a vegetable gum. Odorless, tasteless. It's just like fruit pectin. Stuff you make jelly with. Or Jello. Either one. So I have been told. I don't have enough experience with that to speak intelligently. Wow. 2,500 boxes. That's nothing. So gosh, those won't hit Virginia. Maybe like Northern Virginia or one of those places, but it won't hit here. Won't hit Richmond. I wanted to show you guys this too. You see, this is the upper part of the leaf that was part of the leaf that was facing the sun, much darker. And this is how I can tell what side is up. If you flip it over, this is lighter and the veins are much more pronounced. You want to go out, sweetie pie? In a second, I can let the pup out of the room. Hi, baby. Yeah, go, sweet girl. All right. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Everybody says that. And as I have already said, YouTube very seriously frowns upon the words and the sight of the green stuff. So we keep that away from here and keep it family friendly. The way YouTube doesn't get mad at us. Correct, David, correct. Bottom of the leaf facing up, so it's touching the cigar. So that the pretty side of the dress is right here. Oh, shit, I ripped it. And it's just that easy to rip it. Slightest bit too much tension. On the bright side, it's the first one I've ripped tonight, so that's good. And this one's going to put me in a place where I have to sacrifice a leaf, because I am not getting a cap out of that. Shoot. Don't have enough of the scraps over here. Don't have enough over here. Tons of super glue, my dude. Tons. No super glue at all. No super glue at all. Just the vegetable pectin. Oh, that one ripped, so that one becomes the... One of these is worse. That one. But I'm having to make a sacrificial leaf. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. I'm a little less trusting. Let's just put it that way. The Brulee Blue, I have one in my deep cooler right now, resting. I got it. I'm gonna wait till it was created in May of 25, and I'm gonna wait till it's hit a year post roll. If I'm buying like high end cigars, I will lay them down for at least 1 year. You get a box, you can see what's on the bottom of the box and know when it was made, at least what month, and then I'll wait 1 year. That way, everything has a chance to really marry together. Wow, look at that. See where my brain was? Let my brain get away. Let my brain get away. Got to focus, John boy. Got to focus. Maybe I can squeeze one out of there. Get it? Yeah, cool. That'll work. Let's just hope the colors are close. Stop. Slow down. I don't know. Yeah, I wish I knew the answer to that question. The answer is, I guess we'll see. It's probably the best answer. I guess we'll see. Need some hope, though. See, for those guys that it's legitimately helped. And I know quite a few that it is legitimately helped. And you see what I did by messing with that? I ended up tearing it. Now I just have to deal with that. tearing a lot tonight. Might have overhydrated this wrapper quite a bit. Or maybe I'm being too rough. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I try my best not to make too many comments about policy and politics. It's such a filthy topic. Truly not worth our time, but I understand. One of my favorite things about the law, about going to the Sonic Lodge, or even the Cigar Lounge for that matter, it's one of those taboo topics. It's no matter what it is, it's the same as religion. It can be divisive or it can be binding. It can bring people together or it can tear them apart. So I just tend to refrain. Yes, no doubt. No doubt. Nice. I think eventually that will all come to full fruition and it'll be as illegal as it's going to get. Do I see dollars when I produce cigars? It's yes and no. Yes, I see dollars that I've spent to create these, but I also see this as an opportunity for me to grow and learn about cigars and maybe one day get into the industry. I don't know. What I'm about right now is rolling these cigars, and once this summer starts, we'll grow our own tobacco, Cuban seed, of course. We've already got them, and well, not all of it's Cuban seed. Some of it's Dominican. The Olor. I picked the tobacco to grow based on what I need for my blends. Now I realize, grown in different soil, different sun, different area, they will not taste the same. It is very therapeutic. I agree. 100%. You really kind of have to focus on what you're doing. It allows your mind to turn off. I got pretty good at talking and using my hands. In high school, I worked at a radio station in the little town I grew up in. And you had to be able to, use your hands and talk at the same time. You're spinning up records. Or we actually had records and 8-tracks in those days. I mean, I'm not that old. It's not like that was 100 years ago, but we definitely had the older technology back in my day. But it worked, and it worked well. Yeah, I worked at a radio station when they went off the air about a day. Yeah. Oh, nice. Thanks, Matt. Have to remember to breathe. You tend to forget. Oh, you're talking about the tobacco seeds? No, tobacco seeds actually self-pollinate. So they are not a male and female kind of gig like the green plants are. They self-pollinate. And what I'll do is this year, I will pick the strongest, largest plant and let it flower, and everything else I'll cut the flowers off of. So that way I have the seeds of the strongest, best plant in my garden. I'm propagating only the best, the strongest genetics. They do the same thing with the green stuff. These are getting This wrapper's trying to dry out on me. What the hell did that come from? I'm gonna have to put this one back in. Let that one sit there a few minutes. Play some tunes for us, brother. Play some tunes. I used to do a dinner show. It's kind of interesting being, it's 17, 18 years old, and from the 80s. And they have the dinner time hour. They called it dinner by candlelight. See if I can still do the voice. Welcome to dinner by candlelight. And then I'd play like Perry Como and any kind of big band stuff. It was so fun. It was wild. So, but gave me a nice rounded taste in music. I mean, everything from Slayer and Megadeth to Sinatra. Kind of can go all over the place. And I grew up in a house where music was a big thing. Music was a very, very big thing. I'm going to have to wrap that one straight up. And now this is going to give us the opportunity to cut the big vein out. Just have to be careful not to rip it all the way. Yeah, I don't really use like a full-on sharpener. It's the stick that comes with your knife kit, the long sphere where you see a shelf doing this number on each side. That's about all I do is just run it across that 2 or 3 times just to bring the edge back clean. Now when I first got this shit out of it, it was flat coming down like this. Well, I needed more point to cut circles with and curve to cut long edges with. So I shaped this one based on what I want. And that's the best part of this is you have some basic rules you have to follow just because that's the way the tobacco wants to be. But other than that, you can be creative and do whatever you want. You can make the tools work for you. Okay, right on. What's that about salad knives? Your work as a line cook? Yeah, see, you know exactly what I mean. And she lets me know when she needs a little touch up on her edge. Instead, which is actually right now. You see how it was sticking to the leaf? It wasn't cleanly cutting it. Also tells me that these leaves are overhydrated. No, it's tobacco. No green stuff. Oop. And that's what happens when this leaf starts to get dry. It tends to just pop right off. What happened to my shoot? That's okay. There we go. I'm trimming the, where'd you go? Back over here. I think music's underappreciated in today's society. Shouldn't be. It's a binder. It brings us all together. Pick up the speed on that one. Damn. That one really came out ugly. I got to be careful. This wrapper is really starting to dry out on me. I'm starting to think that these numbers might be a little bit wrong. Although it feels that bloody humid in here. All right, let me get 2 more to go. Rolling a pregnant cigar, I mean, it can be done. It's not hard to do. Get that bunch wrong, and it does all kinds of wild stuff. Man, this is the ugly duckling of the group here. Look at that, a big old ugly vein. Should have cut that one out. Oh, that's okay. It'll be fine. This will be one of the ones I enjoy first. Need more wrapper? Do I have 2 of these left? I wonder. I do. All right, we're going to backtrack a little bit. And I'm going to grab, because I've only got 2 left to wrap here. And I can't wrap those for another hour or so. I'm not going to stay on that long. We got 2 left. So we're going to wrap the last 2 in Sumatra. Chris, thanks, brother. Appreciate you too, man. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't know how many folks we've gained into this crowd tonight, but the more the merrier. The absolute more the merrier. Doesn't look like YouTube has beat me up tonight. It's both, actually, both. Yeah, I made the mistake and inhaled a cigar once. 2020. Oh, John, thank you so much. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you very much. To all of y'all that have subscribed, thank you. Everyone helps. Every single one helps. I'm not worried about any of the monetization. What I just want to do is grow the channel and get it out there, get this out here, and want people to really see this craft that's a dying art. Lone Wolf, hi. My pleasure, David. My pleasure. Toscano. Nice. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate you. Nice. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. Really appreciate it. It's always a surprise because I can't see when this phone is recording live, and then there's a phone over here that I'm watching the chat on. So I can't actually see when people subscribe or what the number is. So it's always like it's kind of like winning the lottery when the stream ends. I'm like, all right, how many people did we get tonight? And I get to see the statistics of it. And I'm usually like blown away. Like, I can't believe that. Okay. Oh, I understand that. I mean, I have days that I can't smoke. I mean, I want to, and I usually do, but the sweet chocolate flavors, I can dig it. There's one of the tobaccos that I have tends to put a chocolate taste. It's something in the tobacco. It's just stunning. I usually get coffee, like I said earlier, coffee, leather, sometimes honey, some random sweetness. I've gotten molasses a few times, leather a whole bunch of times. I tend to pull the leather from the Nicaraguan, and I don't know what this flavor note is called, but it smells like what it tastes like is what funky cheese smells like. I heard another guy call it the sweaty gym sock. The taste of this, and I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly right. That's exactly what it tastes like. It's like a sweaty gym sock smells, which of course is terrible, but strangely enough, when you taste it, you're like, huh, it's sweet and not bitter and kind of funky, like good cheese. Nice. That came out pretty good. Found another piece of it. Where'd it go? Oh no. Oh no. There we go. There it is. So this wrapper is Sumatra, as I said. Ooh, interesting. Wrong side. And thought about adding cocoa leaves. Or were you saying coca leaves? I'm definitely not adding coca leaves. You hear that, DEA? No coca leaves. Shoot. That one's no good. No, it is well, in this region where I'm at, it is seasonal or an annual. In apparently in some places in the world where the climate is more tropical and forgiving, it can be a perennial, but not here, not in my state. It is most definitely an annual. The other thing is sometimes this wrapper will dry out a little bit too and tighten everything up. All right. Last, but certainly not least, I really just want to show my appreciation to everyone that came and hung out and just had a good time, just chit chatting with everyone, and got to watch some cigars being born. I've got one left, so that'll be 12 that we wrapped and 5 that we created. And I will. These won't come out of the press tonight. I'll sit there until tomorrow morning, but I will record me wrapping them so you can come back and check that out, which will be awesome. I'll probably post that one Saturday-ish. Try not to step on other people. I know when the guy that I has high respect for, he streams on him one night, and another gentleman that I highly respect is a newer roller. He streams on another night. We try to. I guess well, I personally, I can't speak for them, but I try my best not to step on anybody else. I think it's cool. Hell, I like to watch. And there's a couple of guys that I watch too. Oh, no shit. Damn, wonder which one of us will get done first. Oops. Just cut that and fix it. Yeah, I hadn't really been on YouTube today. I've been on in the studio working on the short and then getting ready for these and scheduling out to the end of January. Yeah, I definitely intend to keep this up. It's a different leaf. That's okay. Let's get out of this one. Ah, true. Now I'm an event roller, and I roll for personal use and entertainment. Yep, the only way to get to smoke one of these is to find me at an event and sit down and hang out, and I will give you a cigar because that is perfectly legal to do. But the moment there's money transactions, the ATF gets very mad. And we don't want to break the law. It's not over something so silly. Got some big things in the works for spring. Not just the garden. We've got a cool thing. I can't share it. I wish I could, but it's too, yeah, you'll see. There'll be videos, but that won't be till after April. Won't be till after April. Yeah, I'll probably jump off and watch PNW then once we get done here. So I am coming to the end. of my stream. Yeah, and see, this one's going to tighten out quite a bit. See how squishy it is? It's because I somehow I got lost in the pile and it ended up getting left out for a while. So that's what'll happen when you leave a bunch out, when you take it outside of the mold, is it will start to expand. And that can be your saving grace too. If it's, yeah, right on. Will do, bro. Will do. Yeah, we're all in this together, man. It's a community thing. It's nobody's better than anybody else. We're all just doing the things and having the fun. So I know I am for sure. Oh, you can hear the difference. How dry this is now compared to. All right. I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming and hanging out and subscribing and liking and sharing and all of the fun stuff. This channel grows because of you guys. And because of, I'm just going to say y'all, because of y'all. I truly appreciate it. I'm humbled just to look up and see 300 or 400 people just hanging out. Jesse, it's truly my pleasure. So every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be right here. Like I say, hit that like and subscribe. Also, if you happen to think of something you'd like to see or like to learn, shoot me a message on YouTube. Leave me pick one of the videos and leave me a comment. And I will do my very best to make it happen. If something you want to learn, something you want to see, let me know, and I'll do my very best to make it happen. All right. Have a great evening, everyone. I really appreciate you, and have a wonderful day tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time. You too, brother. You too.